Hello, ladies and germs. After 2 years of vlogging, I just, by mistake, figured out that if you hit the power button on your phone, or at least on my phone, it also is the same as hitting the record button. Which is so dumb that I've been doing this for so long, and I was like, oh, is there another way to get this on without me poking at the screen? And apparently there was. Anyhow, I am clearly in my car. I just came out of the gynecologist's office, and there are updates to this breast cancer journey of mine. So I wanted to fill you in on what is going on. Need to give you some timestamps for stuff in case you're tuning in new. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer, which was estrogen and progesterone positive. It's been just a hair over, it's like 2 years and a month or something since my diagnosis. I had double mastectomy, lymph node removal and all that stuff. My margins were clear. I had an IUD in prior to my diagnosis, which was going all smooth and cool. I think IUDs are great after you've had kids and whatever. They're a great birth control method and helps to control your periods and all that good stuff. But they release hormones. So when they found out that my breast cancer was hormone fueled, it was like, bye-bye IUD, it had to go. So of course, if it goes, then what comes back? Your Aunt Flo. And she came back with a force. She's like, damn it, I'm gonna make up for lost time. To the point where I could not literally get off the couch or shift positions really without blood flow, and it was not a good day. Not a good day. It's not a way to live, because you can't. Every time I shifted, and I would bleed for 2 weeks or something. It was sort of crazy. So what they had decided, and by they, I think I addressed it with my gynecologist, because she was the one who was following, obviously anything with a period you talk to a gynecologist about. There's a weird line between what the oncologists do and what your gynecologists do. They work as a team, but who prescribes what, there's it's not a black and white line of who's in charge. Everyone kind of works together. So that's when I learned about Lupron. The Lupron, what it does, at least for the breast cancer world, it basically pushes you into menopause. It shuts down your ovaries so it doesn't release. Again, I'm not a medical doctor, all that liability, blah, blah, blah. It shuts down your ovaries so that you're not producing estrogen, because if you have cancer cells that like to eat estrogen and grow, you don't want that for them. And just it's called a fun fact, but that's kind of messed up. The use of Lupron primarily is for men with prostate cancer. And the timing of all of this Lupron stuff is just interesting to me, because, well, you can see I have my shirt on, and for you true fans, you know what this symbol is from, but I went to the Duran Duran concert 2 days ago. Still a little tired from it, but you can watch the prior vlog after the concert, which made me super happy. I forgot to mention something about when I got home from the concert too, having to do with my reconstruction. Anyhow, hopefully I'll remember that. So the plan originally when they started the Lupron was, start the Lupron. You can do it every 3 months, or you can do it every month. And it was recommended that I do it every month. And it's a shot. It's expensive. Insurance covers it and stuff, but without insurance, $2,000 a shot, which is crazy. I always get my shot in my left arm. I've had 24 shots. And the plan was to do Lupron for 2 years. And because of my age and where I am, I was perimenopausal before all the cancer stuff happened. I go every couple months or something without my period, but then it would just come back. Definitely wasn't in menopause. and the average age of menopause is 51 and a half. I will be 52 in 3 months. So I'm right about there. So the plan was to do the Lupron for 2 years and then hope and pray that I'm in menopause. My oncologist wanted me to stay on the Lupron because, like, why get off of it? As you may have watched, and I'm not going to go into all the nitty-gritty, but I have many vlogs throughout this 24 months of being on Lupron of the side effects of Lupron. They're rough, and I dealt with them for 2 years. And of course, I'm going to be smart about my path. That I'm not, I mean, every drug has side effects, but clearly I don't want my cancer to come back. But I'm also on tamoxifen, which, if there is estrogen laying around, the tamoxifen will kill off the little feeders that the cancer cells, or those cancer cells, can't eat the estrogen and grow, and they just would die off. But the plan was 2 years, and, you know, that's where I am now. And I'd like to try and get off the Lupron and see if I'm in menopause. I'm not, there's so many other thoughts that could like whirling forward that, like, you know, what if I'm not? Do I do this? Do I do that? You can't do that with this process. You've got to, like, so be in the moment, because you don't know how your body's going to react to any of this shit. So you really have to just stay the course and play the game and see where you are, and then deal with changes of shit as those things happen. Today, while I'm in my car, well, first I got my roots done. She did a nice job. She cut my hair. Well, yeah, because yesterday when I vlogged, my hair was down to, like, here. She cut off a bit of it because it was getting, like, super heavy. Anyhow, and then I worked, and then I came here and had an ultrasound done. Not the kind that's in your abdomen. If you're a woman, you know what I mean, and they're not comfortable. So when I'm done vlogging, I'm going to go to Cold Stone and get myself some freaking ice cream. Granted, yes, I have gained a ton of weight because of the meds, but, like, Jen did a good job today, so she's gonna go take herself to Cold Stone to have ice cream for lunch. I really should have some, like, real food, but I'll do that too. So the point of today was to take a look at what my innards look like and what the Lupron's been doing to my, you know, girl parts over all this time. So I didn't get to physically see them, which is fine. Most women, or not many women, have fibroids on their uterus, whatever. If they're inside, that's not good. Some people have it in the lining, and some people have it on the outside. The Lupron is also prescribed sometimes to shrink fibroids. So when she did the ultrasound today, I have many fibroids. They have shrunk. I had, I know some of you might think this is TMI, but it's like, the more women I talk to, they all have fibroids. Trust me, there's plenty of things that you don't know about me when it comes to lots of things. But I had a fibroid that was like 5-point-something centimeters, which is pretty big, and it shrunk down to 4 centimeters. And I wasn't even expecting that part. I guess it's just an added perk to what the Lupron does. And they couldn't find my ovaries. And so to me, I'm like, oh, you couldn't find my ovaries? Something's wrong. And she said if they couldn't find the ovaries transvaginally, they would do an ultrasound from the, like, externally to see if they can find them. But the reason why they can't find them is because they're shriveling up. Which, in most things in the world, when you're getting older, you don't want things to shrivel up. But when it comes to your ovaries, at least for me, I am quite happy that my ovaries are shriveling up. Because if they're shriveling up, it means that they're, like, done. Like, I have 2 kids. They are grown. You know, like I said, I'm 50, I'll be 52 in a couple months. I'll be 52, that's funny. Rome, if you want to. Did you know that Rome was actually written by Nile Rodgers, and he was an opening act for Duran Duran? Anyway, I'd come back to that because it was like I felt really good at the concert. And right now I'm in a kind of a question, excited, a little nervous phase as to like what's going to happen, because I don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, I couldn't find my ovaries. They are shriveling up. And we see what happens. I have not had blood work. I know you can get blood work to see what your hormone levels are. The issue is if you're on the Lupron, it's kind of like false readings a little bit, because if your numbers are low, that's not necessarily because you might be close to menopause. It's because you're on the Lupron, which would make your numbers low. To share information, when I talked to my doctor, we're on the plan to stop the Lupron. And the Runway for Recovery show is coming up in October. It's September now. Runway is, you can look back. I did a vlog about what Runway is. I'm not going to talk too much about that. But it's a fashion show. It's a fundraiser for breast cancer survivors. So I'm walking down a catwalk, a runway, and I don't want my period when I'm walking down that runway. From what I learned today, it could take, or typically takes, 2, maybe 3 months for your mind and your body and the whole lack of hormone thing to understand that, oh wait, she's not getting injections anymore. What are we going to do now? Are we going to just be done and no period for you ever? Or are my periods going to come back? There's absolutely no way to know. I probably should buy a pack of pads. I haven't bought pads and it's been 2 years. I mean, when I started the Lupron, I had my period, I feel like, but then I never got one after that. And that's what's supposed to happen, because it's supposed to push you into menopause. I did, by the way, have spotting at one point, about, I'm guessing 4 or 5 months into the Lupron, and it was also 4 or 5 months into the tamoxifen. And tamoxifen does cause, or can cause, our uterine cysts that are not good. You don't want stuff growing on the inside of your uterus. And again, that was a prior vlog, but I had to have that removed, which was not enjoyable. I chose to do it in office and suck up the pain of having it done very quickly versus scheduling a whole surgery. I just said, just cut it out, and I will do my Lamaze breathing, which I never actually used when I was giving birth to my kids, but that slow breathing has helped me a ton. It also helped me today during the ultrasound, because the transvaginal ultrasound is really not enjoyable. So that's where we are. So I have a Lupron scheduled. Oh, my stomach is getting queasy now. I think it's nerves and having this freaking wand shit up your box. Sorry. It's just uncomfortable. And I bought a heating pad. I can rewind about my apartment flooding the week after I had my second reconstruction. Oh, the shit that I'd been through. Yeah, my stomach does not feel well. I probably should get real food before I have ice cream. Ugh. Damn it, that just distracted me. So they're going to stop the Lupron. My stomach really does not feel well. I was so nervous about going into this appointment. I love my gynecologist. She is phenomenal. She literally has saved my life now twice. I'm not going to get into the first thing of why. But she was the one who insisted that I have an MRI as a baseline. And that baseline turned out to be how I found out that I had breast cancer. So I love her. I don't even know what I could possibly give back to her. I brought them chocolate eclairs once, so there's that. But I was so nervous going in today. And part of it is just, it's situational. You walk in that ultrasound room, and, I've been through a lot of, and as many women have that are my age, I've been through a lot of gynecological things. And you sit in that room and look at that ultrasound machine and it's what are we going to find out today? And I remember, because I feel very comfortable with her, just breaking down and crying. because I knew it was like a safe space that I could do that with her, just because I've known her for, gosh, what, 13, almost 14 years, and she's seen me through a lot. Anyway, so it's triggering. I did a lot of breathing, and that helped. Yeah, so I have a Lupron scheduled already for, what's today, Friday? Oh, in a week, next Friday. That will be my 25th Lupron. She was planning on having that be my last, but like I said, I didn't want to have my period when I'm walking runway. God forbid my period comes back. So I asked if I can do a 26th Lupron just to get me through October and then stop after October. So that's the plan right now. Oh, what I was saying, and then I got sidetracked with emotion. The Lupron itself, by the way, is a shot. It's not like a pill or something. It's a shot. And it is, like I said, it's more often prescribed for men as a treatment for prostate cancer. But because, like when I went there, I equate a shot to, they put the shot in your arm. They've always put it in my left arm because I had less lymph nodes removed from my left side. All my drama was on my right side, my right boob, I mean. I had 6 lymph nodes removed from my right side, so they kind of stay away from my right side, even when it comes to blood pressure cuffs and stuff. I feel like I'm gonna have a thunderstorm. All of a sudden, like, the wind picked up and, like, the sky's turning gray. That's okay. Rain just washes away and makes things anew. So I've had all of my Lupron shots in my left arm. It was about a year into them that that one of the people, I get them done in an infusion center. An infusion center is not a really enjoyable place to be, though they have the nicest nurses I have ever come across, like as a collective, because that's where people go to get cancer treatments, like chemo and whatever. But the Lupron, like, I'm in and out. And again, I'm not going to go too much into side effects. Those are previous vlogs that you can get into. But I was getting concerned about myself, and I can handle a lot. I've handled a lot in my life, but it was to the point where I was starting to get a little concerned, and I'm like, I need to change. I need to take care of Jen a bit, not just physically, but like mentally too. Like it's turning me into this human being that I don't know, and not a good way. I had no emotion about pretty much anything. No happy, no sad, just like, and that's not a good way to be, and other stuff too. I always felt like I was very aggressive the week and a half before Lupron, up until about a couple of days after my Lupron. I'd like, one time I actually did punch a wall. I did not break any fingers, but serious sensory issues. I felt like there was like 25,000 ants crawling on the inside of my body, and there's nothing you could do about it because they're on the inside. In the beginning, I would cry more. I would just like start crying for no reason. But it wasn't until I'd say like the last 6 months where it wasn't a matter of crying and being emotional, which are typical things, I guess, that you would equate to like when you'd have your period or whatever. It was more dark things that were concerning to me. And then when I told them, like, like I got my helix pierced because the sensory stuff like really bothers me. And I mean, I wanted to get another piercing in my ear anyway, but like a helix piercing is not really a walk in the park. And even now it gets caught on things, but I don't regret it for a second. But I mentioned to them that I got my helix pierced, and I'm like, you know, it's fun to play with, and not that I should play with it because it's pretty much healed at this point because it's been a few months. But I said when I have the sensory overload and just me like manipulating the piercing a little bit distracts my body from the sensory stuff. And I think that they thought like, oh God, now she's gonna get like 50 tattoos to make herself like not feel the sensory stuff, like whatever. But it was the right call for me. So I will get the 25th Lupron on a week from pretty much now. And then I'll do one more in October, and then be done. There is no strict timetable as to like, I will get my period or not get my period on this day, and that's how I will know if I'm actually in menopause. There's no way to know. She said she has a good feeling. She doesn't just say that to tell you what you want to hear. That's just not how she works. Statistically, like age-wise and what my parts look like, this should work. And I do trust her extremely, obviously, that when she says she thinks that this is going to work, that like this might work. And I'm going to buy a pack of pads just in case. Really big ones just in case, because if I get my period pretty heavy, I don't want to have like a panty liner laying around. I need like the hardcore shit, like the purple pads. I remember talking about the purple pads like a long time ago, and they're so big and bulky and whatever. But they work. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember. It's been so long. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the vlogs to see what I used at that time. That's crazy. So next steps after that is like we would just wait and see what my body does. And obviously like keep in contact with them if there's anything that's concerning, like heavy bleeding or whatever's concerning. And she said it takes time for your, there is such a mind-body connection with your brain and the brain and hormones connected down to, your female body personal. They've all got to like talk to each other like, okay, what the fuck's going on? Like, this isn't the body that we were working with before, so let's figure out what to do. Yeah. And that just, it just takes time. So I can't even like go there to think about what if, because there's no way to know. All I can do is be prepared that like, if I don't get my period, awesome. And if I do, we'll see what happens. I'll go out and buy some pads, big purple ones. And then I will see her. So it'll be end of October, November, December, January, February. They scheduled me for March. That's 5 months out. Whatever. I can reach out to her whenever. She said, like, I think she wants to give it 3 months being totally off the Lupron. So November, December, January, it'd be off. I don't know. They scheduled me for March. So we'll have to see what happens. Which seems like forever from now, but like, we'll just see what it is. The path of this is not your own. I mean, of course, you are a part of all of this because it's your body. But how your body responds, like, you don't really have control over. The only thing I could do is try to maybe be as chill as possible and not stress about anything. And then maybe my body will be like, okay, Jen's all good. No anxiety. She is chill and happy and whatever. And let's give her a gift by not giving her a period anymore. I don't know. So that's the plan. So I just wanted to update you. Lupron has been a fucking ass crazy ass journey. And we'll see what happens. What I wanted to mention, coming back, because I'm glad I remembered, about the concert yesterday. I liked my vlog yesterday. I haven't posted it yet. Well, by the time you watch this, I will have posted it. But my vlog yesterday about the Duran Duran concert, I wore one of my mastectomy, I shouldn't call it that really. I wore one of my bras that I got at a post mastectomy shop. I don't know what you're supposed to call it, boutique, whatever. A heads up that like, at least the places that I called, or places definitely that I went to, when you go to the shops, it is great because the insurance will cover a part of the cost. I unfortunately went to a store that's not in the same state as I am. Like, I'm in Massachusetts. New Hampshire isn't that far away. It's like, 20 minutes or something. But it's weird with the crossing the border and insurance and whatever. So it's nice because insurance pays for part of it. But post-mastectomy bras, they're built differently. They push in, come down here. They push in more on the side, which is nice. When I had my second reconstruction, I did have lipo done on both sides, which sounds so like whoo-hoo, but again, you can go back to that vlog to see like, that's some scary shit. You're like, my skin turned like black, and that's not even, that's like normal. Anyway, it pushes the bras that they had, like push you in this way to, you know, bring everything up. Because like you think of implants as being perfect, they're not perfect. They're obviously different, and not saggy like my old boobs were, but they're not perfect. And the stores, like, they don't make bras that are like, okay, if you had a double mastectomy, you have this bra, and if you had nipple reconstruction, you get this bra, and if you're flat and did not get implants and you have a prosthetic piece, you get this bra. That's not how it works. At least not there. All the bras are basically like the same. There's a pocket on the inside of it that's sewn in, that if you did need to have a prosthetic piece put in, you could just let it in. So I had implants put in, but that's still there, that lining, and I have not had my nipples couldn't be saved with the way my cancer was, and I have not had the tattooing done yet. I want to get the tattooing done before my last Lupron. I feel like that's gonna be my little gift to myself. But I haven't had the nipple tattooing done yet. So when I go to put the bra on, there's like this little like bubble. When you first put the bra on, there's like a little bubble here because there's no nipple, and it's just weird. Anyone that I know that's had, or any, like in my breast cancer groups and stuff, who has had nipple reconstruction has not been happy with the results. So as much as I thought I wanted to do that, I'm learning that it's more of a pain in the ass, and many of them just end up having the nipples then removed, which is just another surgery to do. So I'm choosing to do the nipple tattooing, and it's textured. So that'll be another day. That's not today. That's not today vlog. So anyway, you have that where it's like almost like like you could push it in and there's nothing there. Right now, as I'm vlogging, it's like 10 to 3 in the afternoon. Over time, like when I put my bra on going to the concert, there was that bubble. And I was like, damn it. Like, I just want to feel like normal going to this concert. And I had this little thing that I can like push in, and because there's no nipple there. And like, what the fuck? I'm going to this concert I've wanted to see since I was 14. And I put a bra on and it has this weird little bubble because I don't have a nipple anymore. Like, what the fuck? I didn't see that coming when I was 14. But what does happen as you wear the bra throughout the day is like the boob just kind of fills up that area, and then like now I don't have a bubble there where there's nothing there. It just kind of fills things in. It's gonna start pouring any minute. So I just wanted to give you a heads up that like when you have surgery done and you have scars on your boobs, they don't want you to wear something that has a seam that goes like basically perpendicular, which is a 90-degree angle, perpendicular to your scar, because it could make the scar not heal as well. So I get kind of like nervous when I take my bras off if I see a line because of where the seams are. And those post-mastectomy bras, there are more seams because you have that, you know, insert thingy or that lining. When I came back from the Duran Duran concert and I came home and I was on this like super great adrenaline rush and stuff and this adrenaline high, I got home, I had a nice top on, like I didn't notice that my belly was big because it was black and it was like flattering looking. And when I got home and took my bra off, I was like, oh yeah, like there's my boobs with the scars. And granted, the scars are healing, but it was just like a reminder that like I'm not 14. I've been through life, and I've been through breast cancer, and I've been through this surgery, and this is what I look like now. But what concerned me was I had a pretty deep line here, and another one kind of like crisscrossed it from the seam, probably because of me jumping up and down and bouncing around and stuff from dancing at the concert. And I got scared. I'm happy it was more on my right side, because my right side, I didn't have another surgery on my right side. I just had the one. So they didn't cut into it. So my scar is like pretty light on my right side. But I was scared when I saw that, because it was almost like indented, and it wasn't, like kind of indented in my skin. And I'm like, what did I just do? Like, I had fun, and like, what did I just do? Because I have these like indented lines. But I was tired, and I went to bed, and at the time I felt like, you know, I can't even have a fun night without like coming home and being reminded of all the shit. But then I slept with the whopping 4 hours before I had to wake up. And when I got up in the morning, my boobs were just fine. So, of course you get triggered about stuff, and especially when you see things that you're not familiar with, about knowing what to do or what not to do, it gets scary. And like, you wake up in the morning and your boobs look just fine. It's a learning curve. That is thunder. So I'm gonna need to get off my phone. It's a learning curve. You have to be kind to understand like what's going on with your body. And you just gotta take every day, not even just every day, like literally every 5 seconds as you can, because I didn't think I was gonna get stuck in some weird ass thunderstorm, but those clouds look kind of frightening right now, and I need to get me some food. So I'm gonna go now. If you have questions, comments, whatever, put them below, or you can email me, but I don't tend to check my email. You can go on the Facebook page and message me there. I probably would check that more frequently. And again, that's the invasive ductal carcinoma what also. So that's where I am, the end of Lupron. Thanks for joining me for today's episode of Jen's Life Post Breast Cancer. And be sure to tune in for whatever the fuck is going to come next time. I don't even know what that's going to be, but we shall see. All right, everyone. Oh, wait, I'm going to hit my cool bottom button so you don't even see my finger. Ready? Wait for it. 1, 2, 3. Oh!